Welcome to Emilios Badass Podcast, Episode 1. I'd like all of you to meet a friend of mine, John. John used to be a friend of mine, but he never listened to anything I said. Did you listen to anything? Nothing? Nothing. You didn't listen to nothing I said. So, are you listening? Today I'd like to talk about human body crashing out systems. The idea that human bodies are systems systems. You have lots of human body systems, nervous system, whatever. But these systems are crashing over time. As you metamorphose into different stages of life, child, adult, teenage, old age, and stuff like that, body systems crash. So today we're going to talk about body systems that are crashing. First, we talk about the heart. But the heart, as a system, as a crashing system, the heart is a pump. Heart's been pumping forever. I mean, it pumps like for 3 billion times by the time you're 80 years old. Imagine that. So, if you have a heart that's pumping, if you have a pump that's pumping for, say, 10 years, if you're 10 years old, or you're 20 years old, or 30 years old, 50 years old, your heart is pumping for like 50 years. So the heart system is pumping for 50 years without any maintenance at all. No maintenance. Your heart's pumping for 20 years or 30 years or however old you are. Your heart's been pumping for that many years without any maintenance. So the heart systems are going to be crashing. You're going to get clogged up, lose energy, lots of stuff. If you lose energy, the heart, things happen. If you have a heart problem, then you should see your doctor. My thing is preventing systems from crashing. And we prevent them from crashing and by hacking them in any way we can. Whatever works. So first we're going to talk about the heart pump. Essentially it's a heart pump, acts as a pump, and if you're running your pump for 10, 20 years without maintenance, you're going to have some issues. So what we're doing here today is we're going to have pump maintenance, heart pump maintenance, right? So you have to remember as you go through life, as you change, your body changes, systems change in life that can create what you are. It creates a teenager, the adult, the older person. It changes. You change into different things. They biologically totally change. And those biological changes are created by systems that are evolving and crashing and exploding at the same time through your history. So if you really want heart maintenance, if you think of heart maintenance, you think of it, first of all, we think of energy. The heart needs energy to actually run the pump. Without energy, the heart stops. Your heart stops. You're like, wake up. The doctor will massage your heart, and then maybe he'll use electric. Wake up. So you have these heart issues with a heart pump if you don't have any maintenance. And so again, my thing is preventing all of those things from happening. So we have heart energy. We'll focus on maintenance, heart maintenance, and we have heart energy, which is first. And the first thing we're going to do, heart energy, would be COQ10 for heart energy. Simple. We're going to make this really simple. It's not going to be, we're not medical scientists here. We're not doctors. We're not going to go through all kinds of bullshit. We're just going to simply, whatever works. So, we're going to add some heart energy. The body produces energy for the heart. So in this case, in the heart pump, we need the energy is energy is a COQ10, and so we just have heart energy as COQ10. Now, if you notice, the heart has a lot of other good stuff. It has arteries and veins, and so it actually, it's like a hydraulic pump. It pumps blood throughout the system, and if we would consider this heart infrastructure. So we have heart infrastructure, and we need heart infrastructure maintenance. Heart infrastructure maintenance. We have energy. Now we're going to have heart infrastructure for maintenance. We're going to use hawthorn berries extract for hawthorn for energy. For infrastructure, and also heart infrastructure, grapeseed extract. So we have hawthorn berry extract and grapeseed extract again, grapeseed extract and hawthorn berry extract for heart infrastructure. We have a heart infrastructure. Okay, so that concludes the heart maintenance regime that we've been working on. So we have heart maintenance, which is just coenzyme CQ10 and hawthorn berries and grapeseed extract, and that's kind of like gives you the maintenance on it. So moving on, we're going to move on to skeleton joints. Like, John, how's your skeleton joints? Titanium, stuff like that. So as you grow and evolve into your life, your systems are crashing for whatever reason. I'm not here to hypothesize what reason why joints crashing and over time. Just programs are crashing, and that's the reality of what's going on. What we're going to do is we're going to promote the body. So if you have joint crashing systems, you have tendons, cartilage, and you have fluid that operates the system, the joint systems, so, and the body, if the body is crashing these systems in time, which means that cartilage is deteriorating, fluid is not being, you're not getting enough of that being produced, and ligaments and stuff are weakening, so the system is starting to crash, and as well because that's what it's programmed to do. You're programmed to crash and burn and die. And what we're doing here is we're trying to prevent a lot of this stuff from happening. Most of the systems in the body that are crashing and burning and dying can be prevented. So with that hypothesis, we will think in terms of joint systems that are prevent joint systems from crashing. So we're gonna give something to the body to promote tendons, cartilage, and fluid. So if the body produces that, it grows it, then the actual crashing systems doesn't happen. It doesn't crash because it's the body. Instead of the body deteriorating, the body's replenishing itself in some sense. So we have skeleton joints, and then we have skeleton joint maintenance. Just as you have heart maintenance with CoQ10, hawthorn berries, and grapeseed extract, you have skeleton joint maintenance. So we're going to get the body to produce joint systems that are crashing. All right? So, and it's not rocket science. It's simple. We're going to use one item. We need one item to do that, and that is a glucosamine sulfate. Glucosamine sulfate to prevent joint systems from crashing, skeleton joint systems from crashing. So we have maintenance for the heart, and we have maintenance for the skeleton joints, and I hope you're listening to this. John, you listening, John? John, he wouldn't listen to anything. He was like, John, what's your problem, John? So as you change into different human, biological human, you know that when you're a young person, you're completely different when you're an old person or a middle-aged person. Your whole biology has changed. If your biology has changed, and you know the systems are different, changing and creating whatever it is that you are. So most guys at certain times in this changing period of life, at like 40, 50 years old, the prostate enlarges. And when at a certain age, the body understands, this guy's 40 years old, man, we're going to enlarge the prostate. Somehow the body understands the condition and the age and the biological value that you are. it understands that, and then it just turns on systems, it turns off systems. In this case, it turns off the normal functioning system of the prostate, so the prostate is defected, the system is defected, and it enlarges. If you have a system and you have a bug in the system, then you know it creates a lot of problems. So this is exactly what's happening here, because the system kind of gets bugged, and the prostate goes out of its normal functioning, and it enlarges. And then it enlarges, it blocks the urinary tract, and all these health conditions, and pain and everything else. You don't want to go there. You don't, I mean, if you're a guy, and you know that your prostate's going to enlarge, you just don't want to be there. So how do we prevent this stuff from happening? And in Europe, in a little village in Europe, they have a lot of guys there that prostate don't enlarge. For some reason, it hasn't enlarged. And we go, well, we're going to check this out. Let's go down there and take a look and see what's going on. And what they found out was that the people of the village where the guys' prostate don't enlarge is that eating a lot of tomatoes. They eat tomatoes in the morning, tomatoes at night, tomato juice. They drink tomato juice. They eat tomato sandwiches, tomato. They eat tomatoes forever. They love tomatoes. So that's prostate stuff. So if you love tomatoes, you're going to eat portions of tomatoes at morning, night, noon, your prostate won't enlarge. You go, oh, I ain't eating all those tomatoes. So I thought, so we have here the prostate and the idea that if you eat a lot of tomatoes, it won't enlarge. But I found something else. I got it. Prostate, I found a saw pimento for the prostate, so the prostate don't enlarge. For saw pimento. So you don't want enlarged prostate, you don't want blocking the urinary, you don't want pain. You don't want that stuff, so what you want to prevent that, so you want to use saw pimento for the prostate. Right. So now those are the guys. Now if we do the guys, we have to do the ladies. So again, I can't answer to the ladies' emotional states and stuff because I ain't a lady. But so none of that. But I can say that the biological changes, and as a lady, biological changes as she moves on from young teenager, adult, to young lady, to old. You know, when she gets to those certain period, as she moves into a thing called menopause. So menopause is the body saying, well, you know, fuck this, shit ain't working, so we're going to do something. We're going to change something. So they change. What changes is in the system is that the hormones go out of balance. It's that simple. Simple stuff. I mean, so if you're of menopause age and you're having these problems, you go to your doctor and he gives you hormone therapy or whatever. But that ain't me. I mean, I'm you know, it's like trying to chill that out and prevent stuff from happening. So if you're in menopause, I mean, before you get into menopause, you want to take Vitex. Vitex kind of like normalizes hormones in some sense. So you get relief from different aspects of the actual menopause condition. You know, so that I can't speak to the emotional side of that stuff, but I can say that if you want hormones, you want to balance your hormones a little bit before that, before you get into the menopause stage, you want to take Vitex. So you want to take Vitex. Okay, John, you ain't gonna go to menopause. Okay, so as you it ain't gonna happen to John. So as you move on, and as your systems, your biological systems are crashing, all right? We know that, we understand that. And you can have like visual crashing systems, and I'm not going to say when you have them, how you get them, or whatever happens, or sunlight, or I don't know, somebody poked a finger in your eye, whatever your visual systems are, have a problem. Visual crashing systems at any age and whatever. So we have two things to help you with that, to kind of prevent some of the issues and some of the problems. So we have Luthin for visual crashing systems, and we have bilberry extract. Bilberry extract. Now, back in the day during World War One, the guys would build a trench on one side, and the other dudes would build a trench enemy on the other side, and then they throw bombs into the trenches and shit. Well, what they would do is they would also get in these wooden airplanes, and they would drive over the enemy positions to observe the enemy position. Now, today, you have, like in the Ukraine war, you have the trenches. They build trenches also, but instead of wooden planes going over observation, they have drones to do that today. So, but it's pretty much the same tactic, military tactic. So yeah. Anyway, they would like fly these wooden planes over the enemy, and the enemy would of course shoot the shit out of the wooden planes. So they say, "Yo, this ain't working. We're gonna do this shit at night. We're gonna drive the wooden planes over the enemy at night, and we're gonna check out their positions." So but before they would ride their planes at night, they would eat bilberry jam sandwiches, and the bilberry jam sandwiches would help them out to see the enemy positions, and that is the folklore story of bilberry. So I had a whole bottle of bilberry pills. And I said, yo, man, I'm going to check this shit out. I jumped a whole bunch of bilberry pills. And I was walking around in the morning. I had to go walk to the subway. And I was walking down the road, and I see the trees at that time of the year. The leaves are all green and nice, you know. And the shit was like shiny, green trees. The leaves were all shiny, halos and sparkling and everything. I said, damn, they sell this stuff in the store? Man, that was my experience with bilberry extract. So bilberry extract, yeah, for your eyes. You hear that, John? You guys, how you doing, man? Were you looking at it? So, are you listening? So, this is coming to the end of the Emilios Badass Podcast. I want to leave you with a question and an answer. The question is, what food to eat? Yo, you go on the line, man. Some people tell you, I eat this food, eat that food. This food's good for you. This food good for your eyes. This one for your feet. This one for your nose. You got all kinds of food. But I got it, man. I got it. I got the answer to that question. And the answer to that question is going to take a little common sense and logic. Now, if you don't have common sense and you don't have logic, this ain't gonna work for you. But listen, if you have some kind of common sense and you have some kind of logic, you can understand what I'm about to say. Now, I'm about to say that 30,000 years ago, back in the day, your ancestors ate rice. 20,000 years ago, back in the day, your ancestors ate rice. 10,000 years ago, your ancestors ate rice. Saturday night, your ancestors ate rice. You jumping up eating a hamburger. Yo, my man, what's your problem? Thousands of years your ancestors ate rice. You jumping around eating a hamburger? Did you got any common sense or logic? My man, shit's gonna happen to you. You're gonna get an allergy. You're gonna get something. So you gotta eat. So the answer, I got the answer. The answer is to the question of what food to eat is eat your ancestors' food. Now, your ancestors ate bugs. You eat a bug. Your ancestors ate. I heard some ancestors ate cannibals, or was cannibals. But anyway, so that's something you want to think about. And that's the logic that's the end of my podcast one on how to prevent stuff from happening to you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope all of you are listening because John never listened to me at all. And look at John. I hope you don't wind up like John. Yo, John, what's up? How you doing? Say bye-bye. Bye.